Hi there, everybody. This is Melissa Curran with Scented Balance Aromatherapy, and you know I'm hoping I'm your favorite certified aromatherapist. And tonight, because it is after 6 o'clock, it's wine 30, don't you think? I am talking with Troy Hurst, and Troy is local to the Winston-Salem area. He's a certified reflexologist. He's a trained aromatouch practitioner, right up my alley, a transpersonal hypnotherapist, which I love that. He's also a licensed minister with the Universal Life Church. And this is the really cool part, I think, Troy. Active in the Winston-Salem arts community, performing in local theater companies and through song. I just love that. Welcome, Troy.
Thank you, Melissa. It's so good to be able to join you this evening, and I truly appreciate the opportunity to be
Thank
able to speak
you.
to you and to anybody tuning in today. So that's good.
Well, I'm excited to learn more about reflexology, and I've got a pretty good idea of what it is. But there's a lot of times I've actually given your card to several of my clients and
Thank you.
referred you. So I hope they've called you, but
Yeah,
they don't know what reflexology is. And it's like, oh, you just need to go talk to Troy. I promise you. So for those of us who don't know, what is reflexology?
sure. So reflexology is the science of there are reflex points in your feet that are
Hmm.
connected to every organ within your body.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm just going to lift this up, and there should be a chart right behind me there.
There
Uh,
is.
Good, good, good. So and it's a one-to-one relationship. So all the organs that are on the left-hand side of your body are connected to the left foot. For
Oh,
example, so when I'm working on the left foot, I tell people that I always start with the heart reflex first,
okay.
because if you start with the heart of the matter for anything, then everything
Hmm.
else just goes from there. So if I were to take your foot, Melissa, and sort of divide it in half,
Okay.
everything from the middle part of your foot up is actually from the middle part of your waist up. So I'm physically working when I do that on your stomach and your pancreas and your spleen, your kidneys and adrenals, everything over here on this left side. When I do the same thing to the right side, I'm literally working on the liver area. Um, I'm working on your gallbladder if you still have one, your smaller intestines, your ileocecal valve, and of course, whatever organs you have two of, two eyes, two ears, two lungs, two kidneys. There'll be a reflex point in the left side for the left side, one for the right side for the right side. Everything from the middle part of the foot down is everything from the middle part of your waist down.
Okay.
So I'm working on the lower half of the foot. I'm specifically working on your digestive system, your reproductive system, your hips, your waist, your lower back. And literally, all I do is a slight pressure as I go along. Now, I use the word slight. If you talk to some of the people that I work with, they're going to tell you, oh my God, it hurts so bad. Okay. But I tell people, like, literally, one of the first things I tell people is like, hey, it is never my intention to hurt you or to cause pain.
Yeah.
But if it hurts, that's
Well,
a
that's
good thing.
because things are out of balance. Is that correct?
That's right. It's exactly right. And so if it hurts, that's a good thing because we can work it out. Now, what I'm feeling for, Melissa, when I'm working on the foot is bubble wrap or gristle, is what it feels like to me.
Mm.
For some
Eee.
people, it might feel like I'm like crunching up potato chips or Rice Krispie treats in the bottom of their feet.
Okay.
All right. But just like in life, when you pop bubble wrap, psh, 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 once you
It's
pop it,
fun.
yes, it's fun and it can release.
Yes,
And,
it
and
really
in that
is.
release, when that healing takes place. So basically, I'm pushing fresh, oxygenated blood throughout your entire system. And it's really great because blood is so, important. I mean, it contains life, how it flows through your
Hmm.
body. Now, just like in life, you know, your circulatory system is like a river. Everything's flowing, it's smooth around. Sometimes beavers can come in and they build up dams.
Okay.
All right. So what's interesting about that is water flows through the dam, it just doesn't flow through as efficiently.
Okay.
What
That makes sense.
reflexology goes in and I'm finding where the dams are. All right. I'm finding where those blockages are. So when I can work that out in your foot, it literally creates a new energy pathway for everything to flow through.
Wow. That's the first time I've heard it explained like that. But that makes sense because
Yeah.
and I'm guessing along with circulating your blood and your oxygen and all that lymph goodies, it
Yes,
also helps circulate your energy because we all know we have those energy centers. Does it help with
absolutely.
that?
It does. Way back in the day, they used to call reflexology zone therapy
Oh,
because it's working on the meridians.
okay.
And so
Yes.
you've got meridians that are in your feet. And if you understand where each connection point is on your body with that meridian zone, for example, if I'm working on zone 4, which is the fourth meridian that's running up through like your small intestines, it'll hit like part of your gallbladder, your liver, your lungs, but it goes up to your ear. And so many times
Okay.
people with tinnitus, um, they work up here to try to figure out where the block is. In
Right.
actuality, it may be downstream somewhere in your smaller intestines because that energy flow through the meridian is not functioning correctly.
I never thought about that because yes, my ears ring and it's annoying, but sometimes in its worst form, it's depressing. It just makes you
Yeah.
feel like I can't take this anymore. You know,
Absolutely.
you
But
just
being
want
able to go ahead,
silence.
yes, for sure. And of course, I'm sure you have a blend, essential oil blend
Mhm.
for something in that way. Now, what's very
Yes.
curious, so for example, the big toe is your head,
Mhm.
okay? Your upper two toes are related to your eyes, the lower two toes are related to your ears. So if somebody was dealing with something like that, I could easily get one of your essential oil blends, Melissa. And what
Okay.
I like to say is anoint the toes with oil
Okay.
and let them marinate. All right. So you're able to work it in there. We have just come through a really brutal spring season. So the pollen here has just been ridiculous.
Yes.
I use some essential oils like peppermint or
Mhm.
eucalyptus or
Mhm.
spearmint in that family. And I can put it all on the toes. And I have literally seen clients come in completely chugged up, and eyes watering. And at the end of our session, because of the essential oils going in, has been able to go up there and completely release that. So I
I
tell people,
I'm
go ahead.
wondering if Elemi would be good for that.
Oh, tell me about Elemi.
It's a decongestant. It really helps with your lungs. Well, we got to be careful. We
You're
can't make
not a
any
doctor. You
claims.
can't diagnose.
I know, and we can't make any claims, but
That's right.
Elemi is very good for supporting proper lung function. And proper lung function doesn't mean congestion. It means
Right.
breathing free and clear. And so that's one of the oils that I put in my sinus blends. And also if you've got some chest problems to help decongest.
Yeah.
So
Could you please reserve a bottle of that for me in the next week? I
sure.
promise I will pick it up because I use essential oils a lot,
Hmm.
and I think they're so important, and
They
you know
are.
this already, and your listeners do as
Hmm.
well, that one of the quickest ways to administer essential oil, of course, is, being able, olfactorily, being able to breathe that in.
Yes. Yes.
But also with reflexology, when you put that on the reflex point where it goes, it's like a direct connect right to that organ. I sort of use an analogy sometimes, Melissa. Reflexology is like if you remember back on the Andy Griffith show,
Hmm.
Andy would call Aunt B,
Hmm.
but he would have to go through Sarah, the switchboard operator, to make the connection. You remember?
Yes.
Reflexology, I'm Sarah. All right. I'm making the
Okay.
connection with the reflex point in the foot to that organ within the body.
Okay.
And it's really remarkable. I mean, constipation is a big deal,
Hmm.
because
Yes.
we should be able to eliminate every day. And
Yes.
understanding one of the it's so funny. Like you meet somebody for the first time. And so like 10 minutes in and you're working on that intestinal area. And so I'll honestly be like, so tell me about your bowel movements. Do you go to the bathroom every day? And they're like, what? But it's a big deal.
It
And
is a
being
big deal.
it is, and being able to go in there and work that entire digestive system.
Hmm.
I've had people send me a text like later in the day, and
Uh-huh.
it's a one-word text, and it just says Eureka.
Eureka.
Eureka. And when I get a Eureka text, I smile because it's like,
I
yes,
know.
it's so important.
Well, I think you and I are very much alike in that we provide a safe space for our clients and our customers. And
Absolutely.
you come to Scented Balance and you're probably going to talk about poop and about yeast infections and about
Yes,
all these weird things that maybe you don't feel comfortable talking to your doctor, or there's never enough time to talk to your doctor, or you just don't know where to start. And that's what I love about our holistic community is that number one, it's a safe, non-judgmental space. I don't
absolutely.
care what you're saying, spill it because it's not
Yeah.
going any farther. I
Yeah.
promise. And that's where I pretend to be a doctor. I don't tell anything. So it's
Funny.
safe with me,
Yeah.
but it's a great place. You and I both have a great place to ask these questions that I don't know where else to go with them. And you and I cannot diagnose. We cannot, but we can say, have you thought about this?
Yes. Absolutely. Because I tell people your feet don't lie. They hold a
Yes.
history of your health. And
Yes.
one of the funniest stories I have about that is I was working with a gentleman when we lived in Colorado, Melissa, and your feet don't lie story. So if you down around the bottom edge of your heel,
Hmm.
that's sort of the bottom area of your body. So your bottom, your rectum, your anus area. And so
Okay.
I Frank, do you have hemorrhoids? And he was like, oh, no, I don't have hemorrhoids. Melissa,
Yes, you do.
so offended that I would even think that he had that. He called me the next day and he says, I don't know what you did to my hemorrhoids, but they are killing me. And I was like, Frank, come on back over. We'll work on that. But it's just like, people will come in on purpose and not tell me what's wrong with them.
Mhm.
And I'll be working on, I'm like, hey, tell me what's happening here or what's going on
Mhm.
with your shoulder. And they're like, how did you know my shoulder was bothering me? I was like, well, your
Mhm.
foot just told me, based on what I was feeling. So it's wonderful. It's just wonderful. I tell people, like you said, it's a safe space. It's like a big
Mhm.
old kitty litter box.
Mhm.
People come in, they dump out what no longer serves them. We clean it up, we give it back to God and say, here you go, take care of that. And
Well,
it's so beautiful.
but you can ask questions. I'm a holistic life coach, and what that taught me was to ask wiser questions.
Yes.
And when someone comes in with digestive issues, for instance, yeah, I have a blend for that. It's called Tummy Tamer, and it's for IBS, for irritable
Okay.
bowel syndrome. My bigger question usually is, what's going on in your life that you're struggling to digest? It's not food related. And you
That's
don't
right.
have to answer that question, but I'm sending you home with food for thought. And I think longtime readers and listeners know that I have a problem with the medical community. I just truly believe they've let us down. And they don't always serve us well. Yes, we do need doctors, so I'm not slamming doctors. I'm not. But I just think they're hamstrung by whatever, by either the FDA or the insurance community, whatever. They're hamstrung and they can't ask these questions where we aren't bound by time, or we're not bound by I can't even think of the words. We can ask the questions that give them food for thought
Yeah.
because we're using a holistic approach. You and I both know everything is connected, body, mind, and spirit. So if one
Yes.
thing is out of balance, everything is out of balance. So you can't just put a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. You got to get to the root of it. And I
Absolutely.
think that's where reflexology and aromatherapy comes in and it works together because you're an aromatouch practitioner, which I think is
Yay. I
just
love it.
awesome.
Yeah. I tell people, your feet, you mentioned root.
Hmm.
Your feet are like the roots. They're connected to
Hmm.
Gaia, which is, today this is being filmed on Earth Day. So happy Earth Day.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't think about that. That's just cool.
So your feet are connected into the earth, and as a
Mhm.
reflexologist, being able to remove that. And one of again, I've got about a 5-minute little thing for new clients coming in. And it's like, although the work we're going to do today is very physical in nature because I'm physically
Mhm.
working on your feet, much more of the work that we do together is much more energetic, much more
Mhm.
emotional, much more
Yes.
spiritual because it
Yes,
always shows up in the body.
it
You
sure
know, the left
does.
side of your body being that beautiful feminine side, the right side of your body being that beautiful masculine side. You need
Hmm.
both, that yin and yang, to make everything flow the way it needs to. I'm also, a Reiki practitioner. And so many times as I'm working on feet, if I find a spot that's really cantankerous, instead of trying to kill somebody to mash the spot out, I'll disengage and I'll literally put some Reiki in there, and it
Hmm.
literally just like just calms it all down. And so being able to use my intuitive gifts that I feel like God's given me with the knowledge of reflexology, with the Reiki, it's really a complete package. And of course, essential oils, as you know, it's
Yes.
just really your body. I tell people your body will heal itself if you allow it to do so.
And if you give it the right tools.
Yes.
And that's what I believe our holistic community offers is tools that are good for you, that help your body do what it does best, and that's heal itself or balance. Homeostasis, I think, is the college word for
Absolutely.
balance. And I just sometimes I feel like y'all aren't listening. You're not listening. It's not a pill. It's not a
Right.
trip to the doctor and a pill, because now there's nasty side effects. And now you got to take another pill to counteract all those side effects. And I realized that, maybe Reiki and reflexology and yoga and aromatherapy and all this, it can't fix, cure, heal, change everything. But I think we do a better job as holistic practitioners in helping people who are hurting. And the one thing I write about a lot in my blog post is whatever's up here is going to come out in your body eventually. It might take 40 years. It might take 2 years.
Very
It's
true.
coming out.
Yep. And that's when things settle in and you have disease,
Disease.
and
Hmm.
as every organ has an emotion that's attached with it.
Yes.
And so as I'm working on a particular reflex point that's inflamed,
Hmm.
you can then ask those questions like, hey, what's going on here?
Hmm.
If it's lungs, if it's worry, if it's heart, if it's joy or sorrow, if it's kidneys, is it fear? Is it the liver? Is it anger? Just being
Anger.
able,
Hmm.
anger is a big one. And
Hmm.
especially the gallbladder, so many women, especially, have had their gallbladder removed. And basically, it's unresolved anger issues that I've sort of like just sort of connected the dots.
Sure. Sure.
And after 20 years of doing this, you sort of
You
sort
know a
of
thing or two.
you sort of know a thing or two. And I don't say that braggadociously, but it's just I'm grateful. I learned
You've
reflexology
learned.
over 20 years ago. Um, Actually, my wife's aunt is a reflexologist in a very small
Okay.
community called Blue Ridge, Georgia. And we went up for a family reunion, Melissa. And I'm like, so what do you do? And she's like, I'm a reflexologist. And I'm like, well, what's that? And so she goes, sit down, I'll give you a treatment. And oh my God, it hurt, but it was
Uh-huh.
so like
Hmm.
so eye opening.
It
And
is.
it really got me intrigued. And I tell people, especially younger people nowadays, learn a trade, learn
Hmm.
something that you can do without being beholden working for somebody else, be it a
Exactly.
hairdresser or a brick mason or a reflexologist or something that
Hmm.
you physically can do. And so I learned this skill, did it more as a hobby, sort of off and on. I spent my 20 years in corporate America. Um,
Yay. Didn't we all?
Yay. So, and that's another thing that, I'm very thankful for the success of my business because I run it like a business.
Hmm.
So many times people in the holistic world can be very, oh, la, 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 which is fine. But I mean,
Yeah. But we
be
want to make a
educated.
living too.
Yes, you can make a good living. And
Yes.
so it's just, if you provide good service, you do it from
Hmm.
your heart,
Hmm.
people, they pick up on that. They resonate with that. And I mean, we're living in the best time right now, especially with the newer vibrations that are coming in,
Hmm.
transitioning from the Palladian, or excuse me, from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age, which is all heart centric. You know, I mean, it's just so beautiful to see these new energies coming in and just being aware of that.
Yes.
But after, for me, Melissa, after my eighth corporate layoff, my wife was like, Troy,
We got to do
why don't you
something.
do reflexology? And
Mhm,
I'm like, you really think so? She goes, yeah, you're really good at it. So a lot
mhm.
of it was I didn't believe in me. And through this
At
journey,
that.
through this
Mhm.
journey, because of my roots in faith and because of like, all right, we're just going to do this thing. And, God is blessed, the universe is blessed, whatever you want to call it. And
Mhm.
it's just really opened up. And now, I work 5, 6 days a week, every day from like 9 to 6. I mean, I see 7, 8, 9, 10 people a day. And
Wow.
yeah, but it's,
Congratulations.
thank you. I'm grateful for that, you
Yeah,
know?
that is
Um,
awesome.
yeah, and just being able to provide that service, and I do it out of a heart of love. I'm just one of the most blessed people that I can do something that I really
Mhm.
resonate with. And when people come in, they sense that, they get it, you know? And
I hope people feel that when they come here too, because you can't just do essential oils. That drives me nuts. You have to have a heart for it.
that's right.
You have to have the faith in yourself, number one. And sometimes I've gotten very brash and I said, I'm a very gifted aromatherapist. And I get this like, well, who do you think you are? Well, if I don't believe I'm gifted, then why should you?
Exactly.
And when it comes to helping you with aromatherapy or reflexology, we got to believe in our skills. And it is a gift. It's not something that everyone can do. If it were easy, everybody would do it. Um,
That's right.
and I think that's what makes you different from other reflexologists. And I'm different from other aromatherapists. And I tell people out loud, every single blend I make, whether it's just for fun, for joy, if it's for pain, if it is for a chronic condition of any sort, I always put in some oils to address emotions. Whether you
Yeah.
think I'm fine. Okay, no, right now we're not fine because we've come through a tough year. And
Yeah.
so I think it's important to let people know that we're addressing the whole picture, which is why it's called holistic. And it's not just the Band-Aid on the bullet hole. I love that.
No, that's good. And I've heard so many, I know you personally. I want to get to know you better and use more of your blends. But so many of my clients brag on you. They'll actually bring their blends in with them and say, Troy, use this. Our friend Terry Watkins, for example,
Yes.
we made a custom blend for her.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
she'll bring that in. I'm able to use that where she needs it the most.
Hmm.
And, miraculous things happen.
I love to hear that. Thank you so much for telling me that.
Well, of course. And the thing about it, sometimes being in the holistic world, you know, we feel like we're on an island by ourselves.
I do.
Yeah. And
That's why I want to reach out. you
and that's
know?
why I'm grateful for this opportunity. But like, the more there's strength in numbers, and the more of
Yes.
us that are able to get together that are heart centric in the holistic
Hmm.
community, and it's no big eyes and little U's. I mean, we're all in this together, you
Well,
know?
and a rising tide lifts all boats. That's the
Yes, I
way I
love that.
see it. And there's enough for everyone. There is enough in the world, but we get into a scarcity mindset. Oh my gosh, I don't want to tell Troy that I'm an aromatherapist. He's going to take my business. No, I want to share with you because you've you have a wonderful practice, and maybe there's something I can do different, and there is enough, and I love to share. And this, maybe you can expose me to more people and I can expose you to lots more people, and
Absolutely.
there's enough.
Yeah.
I just
And I think a lot of it's just education.
mhm.
People are ignorant, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's
Yes,
just
they
they
just
don't
don't
know.
know,
They just don't know.
and you
And
don't know
so
what you don't know sometimes.
that's
and,
right.
and, and, you
And
know
when you
that's
know
a
better,
rabbit hole.
that is. And when you know
But
better, you do better, you know?
exactly. And I try to write about so many different ways and let people know that it's not healthcare and wellness is not just going to the doctor and getting a pill. There's alternatives that can really enhance your life, make a difference, all areas, body, mind, and spirit. So I just love this. Oh my goodness. I've had so much
Uh,
fun talking to you.
well, thank you. This is
Um,
great. And I love your energy, your beautiful heart, and
thank
the way
you.
that you exude your love for what you do.
Yeah.
But not only that, how you're inclusive and you want to bring other people to the table and
Yes.
just, yeah, like you said, there's enough for everybody to go around.
And it's going to help somebody. If it helps someone, when it helps someone,
There you go.
it just fills your heart with such joy.
Yes.
I love it. Tell everybody where we can find you.
Sure. Probably the best way to find me is on my website. It's planetreflex.com.
Okay.
That's PLANETREFLEX.com.
Okay.
And there's a lot of information about the type of services that I offer. You can book online, which is good. Um, I've got a Facebook page. I'm learning Instagram. I'm coming right along. A lot of it is just, word of mouth. It's like, hey, I know a guy, and connecting that
Mm-hmm.
way.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's how we do it.
yeah, truly, Troy at planetreflex.com. My website, again, the Facebook 336-831-5615 is my contact information,
Okay.
phone number. And people, please feel free to call or text, whatever's convenient for them. I work typically Monday through Friday, typically anywhere from 8 to 9 until 6 in the evening.
Okay.
One Saturday a month, I do work just for people that, maybe have work issues.
Yeah.
I'm working this Saturday, seeing some folk who are driving in from Sparta, actually. So
Wow.
I'm really happy. I mean, serving as far east as Raleigh, down to Charlotte, Burlington,
I love
Boone,
it.
Sparta, um, Randolph County or Rockingham County, people from Madison. I mean, I'm just grateful. I've got a couple
Wow.
driving in from New Bern tomorrow.
Can I
I
go
know, and
back with them?
I know. But I'm just grateful for that. They're actually doing a foot detox tomorrow.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
and
you
it
and
is,
I both offer that. That's
oh, I
awesome.
didn't realize you did that.
Yes, yes, it is so
Mhm.
good for chronic pain and just getting rid of the gunk that builds up in your system. I love it. I
Oh, me
believe in
too.
that.
I say it's beautifully disgusting.
Yes, it is, but better out than in.
And exactly. So that's my
Well,
contact information. And, I'm just, again, thank you for this opportunity.
oh, you're
And
welcome. And thank you for the time because I know life gets busy and it's Earth Day.
hey, it is Earth Day. So that's good. So
Well,
Mother
I'm
Gaia, we are thankful for this opportunity.
Yes. And I'm going to put all of your contact information because I write a blog post every other week and this is going to go in there. And then I'll put all your contact information in case somebody's reading and they just can click and find you. So
Perfect. And then I will be
awesome.
happy to reciprocate that, letting people know,
Okay.
where you are, what you do, how they can contact you. Are
Thank
you still
you.
doing events and festivals? I know COVID has sort of squashed that a little bit.
It's hampered it a lot of, I'm going to get back into it, but I've just had to kind of wait it out. And so I want to start getting back into it because I miss the markets. I miss people. I
Yeah, for
do.
sure.
I miss people and I miss hugging people too, but we won't, that's a whole nother subject.
Hey, I'm a hugger too. I
I
totally get
know. My tagline has become come smell me because that's what people do. They hug my neck and say, let me smell what you're wearing. So why not come smell me? So awesome. I hope to see you very soon and
that'd be great.
blessings to you. And thank you again so much for the time and we'll talk soon.
Bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.